when I go to a place that has a Chinese place to eat in, am I gonna risk spending $10, if not more? So continuing on the train of Oblivion being the thing that gets clicks, and the fact that I love Oblivion, and the remake's gonna be probably pretty cool, and every single day I'm checking to see if there's any more leaks, I'm going to be talking about another subject relating to Oblivion today. And that subject is my top 9 favorite cities from Oblivion. Now, mind you, these aren't in any particular order, though I might give a top 1 or 2 at the end. There's a couple I have in mind that are dear and near to my heart. I had houses in them. They had memorable architecture. I've spent tens of hours within their gates, within their walls, because unlike a Morrowind, the world space, the city space was separate from the world space. And Morrowind, barring the DLCs for the most part, when you see a city, you walk into it. There's mods for Skyrim to change the fact that Skyrim cities are also like that. It's to resolve issues around scripting for the most part, because sometimes when you enter a city, there's a little scene. They don't want that to get fucked up. But then again, you could also have it just start to happen when the player reaches a certain distance. But I get why they changed it. Moving on to the actual rankings, or rather, I'm just going to go over the cities. We're going to start with the Imperial City first, and then we're going to go alphabetically. So, the Imperial City, the seat of power for the Empire, which is run by the Imperials. And I could do another. I'll probably do another. I'll probably do another video about all the races, because the naming scheme for the Imperials, not great. Yeah, they run an empire, and an empire it has imperialistic qualities. But to just call them Imperials is sort of funky, to say the very least. The overall culture for the Imperials is that of it's split between the Nibene Valley and the what is it? The Colovian Highlands, I believe. So basically, the Colovians are the west end of Cyrodiil. The Nibeneans, the Nibenese are the western side of. Nope. The Colovians are the west. The Nibenese are the east. That's it. I got my directions mixed up. Anyway, back to the city. It is the central power. It is the central seat, and I believe in the lore it's supposed to be really, really fucking big, like the UK sized big. So the Lake Ramir, I believe, is the lake that's sitting in. Yeah, Ramir. It is gigantic. I mean, it makes sense. I believe on the map for Oblivion. Let me double check on this actually. On the map for Oblivion, the island's fairly large. Let's compare that to, let's see, map of Tamriel. The Imperial City, one of my fondest memories is that of, I was playing Red Dead Redemption. I might have been online at the time, playing the multiplayer. And a friend called me up and was like, hey, I need directions in the Imperial City. I want to find a shield shop. And so he relayed to me where he was in the city, and I was able to, from memory, from my mind's eye, I was able to give him directions from, I believe he was either at like the Gilded Carafe or he was around the Best Defense. I believe those are on different sectors of the Market District. And I was able to walk him down onto the main street and then down into... Oh, shit. Okay, so I believe you've heard the Gilded Carafe, you turn away from it, you walk down into the main street, you bang a left, you follow it down to the end, and you bang a right, and it's right there. It's to the right on there. Or the reverse. You go opposite the Gilded Carafe, you turn right, follow the street down, and then it's... Is it still on your right? I think it might be. Something like that. It's at the end caps, basically. And that was one of my fondest memories of the Imperial City, was while I was getting shot at by other players in Red Dead Redemption, I was able to relay these directions in in about 40 seconds. It was pretty funny. So I'm looking at the island that the Imperial City sits on. In the lore, listen, I love Oblivion, but the lore from before Oblivion, dope as shit. And then before Skyrim, some of the Skyrim's lore get fucked up. The sheer size of the Imperial City, it was supposed to be a gigantic, sprawling city with like over 100 cults dedicated to over 100 gods, and good chunks of the city were just falling into the lake. They were in such disrepair at the time. Kind of like if you tried building a big fuck-off Coliseum in, in New Orleans or something, just in a real marshy area. Just entire sections falling off, and that's why I'm so Tamriel Rebuilt, which is the attempts to add the mainland of Morrowind. And when I say attempts, so I'm still looking at the map. So they've added as much land as, if not slightly more so, than the base game. I believe it's slightly more so, because they've covered the entire eastern district of Morrowind, which is the Telvanni's district. They're down through Necrom. They've avoided Mournhold, which is one of the DLCs where I want to say Mournhold and El Malexia are the same city. Let's see, El Malexia, Mournhold. Yeah, I want to say that which Mournhold is it? El Malexia? I don't understand the question. I want to say that, let's see, Mournhold, the City of Light and Magic, is a temple city inside the capital of Morrowind, and the heart of this larger city, Almalexia. Okay, so Mournhold is like the center district, I guess, or like this. Yeah, it's the center. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna fuck it. I'm just gonna say it's called Almalexia. The way it's worded is confusing. We're just gonna skip over that part. We're just gonna skip over that. It's probably not great for the watching experience, but I'm just like, man, sometimes this is just worded. Listen, there's so much lore in the Elder Scrolls. We're not even through the first city yet. We're gonna speed through this. I'm just gonna go for memory now. Nope, fuck it. No more map. There's no more map for me. No map allowed. I should have said at the start. I'm not gonna look these up again. But I already have notes. I lied to myself. Alright, the Imperial City. Scale of 1 to 5? Let's go with 1 to 10. That's easier to rate things. An 8. There were some missed opportunities. Like, it's supposed to be fucking huge, but it's not. But for what it was, for the Xbox 360, it was decent. Alright, next city. Anvil. One that I actually like. I'm just gonna give them ratings as I go. So, Anvil. Fantastic architecture. It's very Mediterranean feeling. It's got influences from the Red Guards from Hammerfell in its architecture, at least from their coastal regions, from what I've read about. And it's very much just that swashbuckler feel to it. Tamriel Rebuilt has Anvil added to it, and it's just a nice taste of what's to come from Cyrodiil, and it's just a fraction of that province. Anvil, very much one of my favorite cities. I love the house from it. You get it for free, but I guess, I don't know. Should I spoil things? Let's just say that you can get a house from there for free, but there's some shit going on down there. Like, you gotta do a quest. The quest is gonna make the house worth living in. It's a nice, like, mid-tier house. You don't get a servant. I don't remember staying there for too long. I got the best house and was like, man, there's a servant that gives me infant shepherd's pie or whatever. Anvil in general, let's say 9 out of 10. I can't really give much else about the city. It's got the Thieves Guild has a lot of its quests there. So if you're a thief, it's a pretty good city. Yeah, overall. Breville. It is a shithole. It's the Detroit. It's sort of one of the two Detroits of fucking Cyrodiil. And it doesn't quite, because it's on the river leading up. Yeah. That's another thing about the culture being so lacking, the Imperial culture. Because the Nibene Valley, the river coming up and down, and all that, It's supposed to be this grand trade network, an entire culture devoted to trading, and like the battle mages and stuff originate from the Nibonese. So it should very much be far more intricate and interesting than it is. That's now reflected. It's just a shithole with a cracked in. Are these ratings based upon if I would want to live there, or how it's reflected in the game? I don't know. Let's give it a 6 out of 10. And that's not counting entirely for if I would want to live there or not. Next city, Bruma. Bruma is like if Skyrim was smaller. And I don't know, man. I'm from Michigan, so I'm kind of used to the similar sort of looks for it. Man, I'm not even looking at the audio waves. I should be looking at the audio waves and what little notes I have instead of... I was looking at something else entirely. So, Bruma. Chilly, snow everywhere. Kind of a shithole. I basically live there. The house there is pretty nice. Yeah, actually, yeah, the house from Beville. I think it's just a fucking... I think it's a step up from the shit shack in the Imperial City. The Imperial City's shit shack has the... It has the rustic charm of living on the waterfront in a major city. Like, if... I don't know, man. I can't really compare it to anything. I live in a fucking village with a population of like 1,200. The nearby city I mention once in a while has like 20,000 people at most, and that might include the population when there's tourists there. So they give you an idea of just how, like, when people are like, "Oh, you've never gone to eat, you never eaten Chinese food?" No. When I go to a place that has a Chinese place to eat in, it's, am I gonna risk spending $10, if not more? I'm still pissed. I went and ate Chinese for the first time today, and I'm still pissed about how it operated and the fact that I spent 17 goddamn dollars for 2 plates of food. They judged me for... Here's the thing. I'm fat as fuck. Part of it's a metabolism issue. I don't eat a whole lot. I ate 2 plates because the people I went with were like, "Oh, you want to get your money's worth? Go eat more." And I was like, I only grabbed like a couple of things of each thing that I was interested in. The sweet and sour chicken's pretty good. I finally had crab rangoon. That was pretty decent. A bit sweet, but other than that, pretty great. And then the third actual Asian, I put this in quotation marks because it's Asian American, not true Chinese. But what was it? Sweet and sour chicken. Oh, I tried their teriyaki chicken. I prefer my teriyaki chicken. Their chicken tasted like chicken shavings just dunked in teriyaki sauce. The actual cuts of it weren't very good. The actual teriyaki flavor, not that great. When I make teriyaki chicken, I like to make sure it caramelizes the... Just in general, I get to caramelize. Man, I was talking about Bruma. That Chinese place I went to. 6 out of... No, 6 is passing grade. 5 out of 10. Needs improvement. And then I'll recommend it to people. Bruma, yep, the house there, it's a cool example of architecture in which they use partial, what is the term for it? Subterranean building methods in order to retain heat, if I remember right. Like, it's slightly lower so that it's in the dirt, so it retains the heat easier. It's nice. It's just nice. I've seen houses around here that are almost completely wood, and they look not exactly similar, but similar stylings. And it's just beautiful. Bruma, a 7 out of 10. The Nordic aspects and the culture aren't super duper there. That's the thing about Bethesda games, is while it is a lot of good freedom, it is sort of like a theme park in that it's not really capturing the experience all that much. Morrowind less so. But yeah, let's just give Bruma a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Then we're on to Shadenhall, which is the city that has a bunch of dark elves in it. So, to reflect that, the architecture kinda sorta resembles the Imperial architecture from Morrowind the game. The roofs are purple. I like the city overall. It's just that I'm like, man, you couldn't get weirder with it. Like, the population is full of dark elves. You don't got any, like... Let's see, by then, did Vivek disappear yet? I can't remember. Man, I'm spoiling shit for fucking Morrowind, but it doesn't matter. Like, That's not getting a remake anytime soon. I hope that dramatic irony kicks in and they actually remake it. That would be pretty cool. I mean, fan attempts to remake it. Sky Oblivion. That's pretty neat. But so I will say that there was a guy who sang about cliff racers, and the local taxman was an asshole. Was that the place with the racists? No, that was some other place. The standout stuff from the city. The Oblivion Gate there, I believe I don't know the title of, so the Count's son, I don't know what his title is. Some rich douchebag is stuck in an Oblivion Gate and you can go save him. And on top of that, the local tax man's a fucking asshole. Like, littering can get you in prison if you don't pay too much fucking money to not go to prison. Shaden Hall, 6 out of 10. Visit it if you want. Man, I could have just made this video to a fucking travel guide. Coral. I think that's how you pronounce it. Coral? Coral. It is a city that I actually do like. I think it's got a big fucking oak tree in it. It's at least got that one statue. That might be the one that's the one, like, rip-off statue where they're holding somebody, and it's like the one statue that everybody copies. The house from it's pretty cool if I remember right. You might get a servant. I can't quite remember. The Fighters Guild, I think, is like the main branches there, if I want to say. The Mages Guild has an interesting quest in there if you want to go there and do their stuff. That one's pretty neat. The Fingers of the Mountain, I believe it was called. That city, I will give a 7 out of 10. It's got cool trees there, and I believe their cool symbol is like a tree or something, kind of like, the city, the fucking, Lord of the Rings town. It's Gondor Cold Parade, right? Yeah, it's been so long. Skipping ahead. Let's see, Kvatch. Well, I can't really talk much about Kvatch without spoiling the game a bit. So you're gonna hear spoilers either way. Kvatch is fucked as shit. I believe it still had an arena. I believe it's still part of the lore. Everything was supposed to have arenas, but they cut that out. Kvatch is overrun with Daedra. It's all fucking bad there. In fact, you're called the hero of Kvatch because you help liberate it. Yeah. As a Yelp review or something, I don't know, like a 3 out of 10. More likely to die there than if you visit Detroit, which is saying something considering people have such a low opinion of Detroit. So, skipping Kvatch, Leowin, the other shithole on the river. This time, there's Argonians and Khajiits there, and from memory, they hate each other. There's a lot of racism. The Elder Scrolls famous for racism. Fantasy, ripe, full of racism. And this might be the one where the Countess is a racist and keeps people locked up and tortures them, but I can't remember which one it is. So, I don't know, go into some dungeons and see if there's some tortured slave-ash people. Because, yeah. They might be free, but they're not as, free as they could be. Because, they're still beast folk and people don't give a fuck about them. There's so much good lore of the Argonians and the Khajiits. You know what? I should do another video. I think this is... Oh man, I gotta do another audio recording that's specific to that one video. But once I have a free period, basically, where I don't gotta abide by the topic in the video, I'll do a video on the races. Leowin, it's a racist shithole, so I guess, I don't know, like a 5 out of 10. I don't recommend it. It could be cleaned up a bit. Skipping on to Skingrad, a city I actually like, similar to Anvil. I'm just going to say that Anvil and Skingrad are probably the cities I like the most and I would like to live in. Skingrad brings to mind cheese and wine, because they produce a lot of cheese and they produce a lot of wine. It's got the wineries that are famous throughout the series where you can find their bottles. And also the Count has a pretty cool secret. You can find that out through the Mages Guild, I believe. Skingrad has the biggest, most expensive house, so that's pretty cool. You can get the servant there, I'm pretty sure, and she gives you infinite shepherd's pie, which once you max out your alchemy, infinite money basically, because at least infinite good money, because then you can turn it into potions with one ingredient and it's just overpowered. Man, that was some good shit. So nice narrow streets. It's got a good feel to it. There's a paranoid Bosmer there. You can do a quest for him. I believe if the baker in town has a bread roll or whatever put into their inventory, crash the game. I believe that's another fun fact about it. Besides that, pretty cool city. Uh, the entire existence of reality is dependent upon this guy not having a bread roll in his pocket, or if it's like, I think if he eats, or she eats something goofy like that, an existentialist nightmare, all wrapped up in some fucking alcoholic. I think he's an alcoholic. Oh, she's an alcoholic. I can't. I don't know if it's a woman. I think it's a woman. Anyway, 8 out of 10. Skinner's pretty cool. So I can't remember what numbers I've said throughout this video. So I'm just gonna say, Anvil really cool. Skingrad really cool. I live in those two places. Everywhere else, besides Coral, it's kind of a shithole for different reasons. The demon-infested fuckhole is quite potentially less bad than the one that's like Detroit. So, I guess I'll just leave it off there. Don't go to Cyrodiil. I mean, play Oblivion, but like, if you had to be anywhere in the setting of Tamriel, I don't actually know where would the safest place be. Everywhere's kind of awful. When with that, I guess I'll see you next time.